everything you just saw was shot on a phone using a gimbal that quite literally fits in your pocket. And today I'm here in Las Vegas to show you that you don't need a truckload of Hollywood equipment to get cinematic footage. It's about combining the right compact tools with the right storytelling techniques. It's about how you move the camera. So today I'm going to show you a few simple intentional movements that will completely change how your footage looks. A big thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. I'm going to be shooting everything on the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, but as always, all gear used in this video will be linked in the description below. Okay, now before we get into any specific techniques, we have to understand the core idea, and that is that camera movement is a language. It's how you talk to your audience without saying a word. It is the first layer of your story. So let's start with the most basic choice that you can make, and that is to move or not to move the camera. Now, a static locked off shot feels objective, almost like a photograph. For example, imagine filming a large group of people crossing a street from a distance. The camera becomes a neutral bystander. It says, this is happening, but it doesn't guide how you feel about it. But the moment you introduce movement, everything changes. So instead of standing back, you're now inside it, moving through the crowd as it unfolds around you. The world stops feeling observed and it starts feeling experienced. You're not watching the moment anymore, you're actually inside it. That shift alone is what turns something simple into something cinematic, because movement isn't just motion, it's perspective. So a slow push forward builds intention. A camera going sideways feels like you're discovering the scene as it happens, and a pull back reveals scale, distance, or emotion in a completely different way. Each direction changes what the viewer feels, even if nothing in the scene itself changes. And to control that feeling cleanly and consistently, all I'm using is a smartphone and a gimbal. Now, let's break down the first way to start building cinematic movement. Now, one of the best ways to avoid that flat 2D look that you often get with smartphone footage is to use parallax, which I know sounds a little bit technical and complicated, but it really is very simple. Parallax is when objects in the foreground appear to move faster than objects in the background. That separation is what creates the illusion of a deep three-dimensional world, and we can use this to our advantage in a move that I like to call the Parallax Push-In. Now, the idea behind this shot is immersion, so not by adding more to the scene, but by layering what is already there. So instead of pointing your camera straight into open space, you look for structure, something in the foreground, something that gives the frame an anchor. So for example, I used these stone pillars as both foreground and as a way to add parallax to this shot as I push in. Here is the exact same shot, but this time without the pillars in the foreground. Not having the pillars in this shot feels like there's much less movement. Both shots are pushing in at the same focal point at the same location. One is using parallax and the other isn't. Here's another example here, look, same location, only this time I'm using these people as foreground to create parallax as I push forward towards the Eiffel Tower. Now, when you place elements close to the camera, they become part of the composition rather than just foreground. Now, the busier the environment, the easier this will be to pull off. So take advantage of elements within your environment to use as foreground. And if you really struggle to get a smooth shot even with a gimbal, then try switching to slow motion, because this can really help smooth out your footage. And this technique can be used in pretty much any location. It's just distance, perspective, and motion all working together. That is the power of the Parallax Push-In. Now, from the immersive to the epic, Vegas is a city of grandeur. It is designed to make you look up in awe, but how can we translate that feeling of massive scale using our phone? Well, we tell a story of discovery with a move that I like to call the crane reveal.
Think of it like a slow opening of a curtain on a stage. You're building anticipation before showing the main event. By starting low and moving high, you create a feeling of ascension and magnificence. This is the move you use when you want your audience to be in awe. Now, this is where the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro really shines, because for this, we need to get our camera nice and low to the ground. So I'm going to put the gimbal into free tilt mode, allowing me to mimic a Hollywood crane shot. I'm going to start with the camera really low to the ground, and then we're just going to slowly and steadily lift the camera up. Now, to level this move up, try adding a push forward whilst you're lifting up. The key to this is to pace the lift up so that your subject is revealed right at the peak of the movement. Now, another great way to reveal your subject or focal point is by combining a push forward movement with a tilt up or a tilt down. Take this shot here, for example. The camera starts pointing down towards this bridge. Then, as I push the gimbal forward, I slowly tilt up to reveal the New York hotel and casino. Or this shot here, for example, inside the Venetian. The camera starts pointing up at the detailed ceiling. Then as the gimbal pushes forward, I tilt down to reveal this grand hallway. This is a really simple technique, but it instantly adds more movement, depth, and cinematic reveal to your shots instead of just holding a static frame. Okay, let's see one more example. Look, here we start with the camera pointing down towards the ground. We push forward and tilt up to reveal the Brooklyn Bridge. And we even get this nice little bit of light flicker from the sun. These movements transform a simple establishing shot into a cinematic experience, giving the audience that sense of discovery and awe. Now, what you've probably noticed is that I'm filming everything on an iPhone today, but I already know that there's a lot of you out there typing, "What about us Android users?" This is definitely one of my most frequent comments. This gimbal is great, but it does not work with an Android. Well, good news, because the Flow 2 Pro has gone from iPhone's best to Android's most advanced, and not just with compatibility, but a full Android performance upgrade. Now, originally, yes, it was refined for iPhone creators, but the Flow 2 Pro is now deeply optimized for Android users, bringing native multi-lens control, advanced AI tracking, and seamless stabilization to Samsung, Google Pixel, and other flagship phones. Nice. Okay, now one of the most powerful ways to create cinematic movement isn't by chasing a subject, it's by letting the world pass you. I call this the passing moment. So instead of controlling everything in the frame, you place yourself on or inside a moving environment and let it do the work for you. So for example, this could be on an escalator, capturing the world as it goes by. This creates an incredibly smooth and unique composition as the world passes. This technique could be used while sat in the back of an Uber, for example, capturing the world and your environment from one location to another. These situations are perfect for cinematic movement because the frame is consistently changing for you. The movement is already smooth, but when combined with a gimbal, you get a rock-steady camera move that really stands out and helps keep your audience engaged. The technique is simple. You don't look for action, you look for rhythm. Gaps in buildings, light streaks cutting through the frame. Your job isn't to force anything, it's to observe and react. Hold the camera steady and let the motion create the movement inside the shot. This is natural parallax created by movement itself. Foreground elements pass quickly, the background shifts slowly, and the city starts to feel layered and alive. Here in Vegas, I've been using this technique consistently because sometimes cinematic movement doesn't come from what you do with the camera, it comes from how you frame your shot.
Okay, so we've captured the immersive crowds, the epic scale, but what if we want our story to focus on a single person or object? How do we make it feel like they are the center of the world?
Well, for this, we use the orbit. Now, the story here is one of importance. You're giving your subject a hero moment by circling your camera around them. The background swirls by, creating that beautiful parallax that we talked about earlier. It's like the camera is putting a spotlight spotlight on your subject, making everything else fade away and visually yanking them from their surroundings. This move declares this is what our story is about right now. So look, how do you do it? Well, let's use Woody as an example. Hey Woody.
Hi, partner.
You look great.
Well, thank you, sir. How you doing, cowboy?
Oh, very well. Yourself?
Are you doing it for a channel?
A YouTube channel, yeah.
What's the name of your channel?
It's called Learn Online Video.
Learn Online Video?
That's the one. I teach filmmaking and video production tutorials.
No way.
Want to be in a video?
That's big.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I do work for tip. This is my job, though. You do know that, Pop.
$5, I get some shots.
I do a great shout-out video. Leave me another $5. I'll even do a personalized shout-out to your channel.
Well, okay, what I'm thinking is if I just get the Bellagio in the backdrop.
You got another $5 for me, man? I'm working here. Come on, Pop.
Okay, let's do another 5.
All right.
Let's do 10.
We can do that.
Just a couple minutes. That's all I need. Is that good?
We got you.
Okay.
What do you need me to say?
You don't need to say anything. You just need to stand there and look cool.
Stand there and look cool?
Yeah. I'll give you a bit of direction, okay?
All right, talk to me.
Okay, so if you just face me.
Hey, listen. Just so you know.
Yeah?
As long as your channel is not illegal or not immoral.
No, not at all. It's educational. It's helpful.
All right, we have an agreement.
Trust me?
Yes, sir.
And you're happy to be in the video?
Amen.
Okay, right. So you just stay exactly where you are. That's great. I'm just going to get you focused, and I'm going to do what we call an orbit shot. So I'm going to come around like this. And you just keep your face in the camera, okay? Ready?
All right.
Okay, here we go. That's great. And let's maybe give a little wave this time. Okay, go. Now, you might be wondering, why am I not showing you the footage that I shot of Woody? And I'll be honest with you, I accidentally deleted this on my last day in Vegas. The storage on my phone was completely full. I thought I'd backed this footage up and I hadn't. A schoolboy error, a massive rookie mistake. I will never do this again. I've got no excuses. So that was $10 wasted, but at least Woody seemed happy. Excellent work, Woody. Loving your work. Well done, brother.
I wish you the best, guy.
You too. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Blessings.
Take care. Now, you can do these orbits manually like what I did with Woody, but if you do struggle to keep your subject centered, then the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro has an incredible tracking feature which will allow you to draw a box around your subject and then do all of the hard work for you, keeping it in the center of frame as you move. An incredibly useful feature. Now, the trick here is to walk in a circle around your focal point, keeping your camera locked on your subject the whole time. Your gimbal is doing the hard work by keeping the shot stable, but your job is to maintain the same distance and speed, moving a bit like you're on an invisible track. Bend your knees, walk heel toe, and let your body be the shock absorber. Now, no need to do a full 360 around your subject for this unless you want to, of course. I tend to move a quarter of the way around, or sometimes 180-degree arc, which I find is more than enough for what I need. Okay, so we've pushed in to create depth. We've used various modes of transportation to help with our camera movement. We've revealed to create scale, orbited to create hero shots, and we did all of that while using nothing but a smartphone and gimbal. It was never just about the camera, it was always about the intention behind the movement. Cinematic motion isn't just a feature on a device, it's a language you speak with. It's about asking why before you even think about how. What do I want the audience to feel? So the next time you pull out your phone to capture a moment, don't just stand there and press record. Take a step. Start low, find your foreground, move with purpose, because when you understand the art of intentional motion, you're not just taking a video anymore, you're filmmaking.
So if you found this video useful and you'd like to learn more about smartphone filmmaking and gimbal moves, then be sure to check out this video here where I'll show you 10 go-to gimbal moves that every filmmaker should know. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.